What's going on, guys? It's your boy Braxton, Wilson Stud, bringing you guys another video. I don't know if I really do these sit-down videos a lot, but it's been a little over 1 year since it's been a little over 1 year since I got out of a mental hospital. And we're going to be reviewing the past year. I might get emotional throughout the video, and I apologize if I do. But it was a very tough time in my life, and I want to share it with you guys to let you guys get a better understanding of who I am. So it was a Wednesday, it was a Thursday in April. It was like it was the third Thursday in April. And I was at school. We were doing our tests for the end of the year because it was nearing the end of the year. And I had a horrible morning. I got in a very horrible interaction or argument with my mom that I shouldn't have gotten in. And I wasn't feeling like myself. School was not going good either. I didn't have the best teacher back then, and my friends weren't really focusing on me because it was like tests, and I understand why they weren't focusing on me. But I didn't really feel like myself, and I searched up the suicide hotline so I could write it down on a piece of paper. When I got home, I could call it because I didn't feel right. And a little after that, I went to lunch and ate lunch, and it was raining outside, so we couldn't go outside. I was like in 5th grade, so we still did recess and stuff like that. So it was raining outside, and so we couldn't go, obviously, so we went in the gym. When we were lining up to go back to our classes, I got called by a social worker. She's the best social worker, like, ever. Shout out to her. But she was just the best. We had the same birthday, and we're both Canadian, so it was just cool. But she pulled me out and asked how my day was going. I said it was good, just to cover up everything. But we went to the office, and that's when I kind of knew I was screwed at that point. Apparently, when I searched up the suicide hotline to send a notification to the principal or the administrator, and they wanted me down there to talk to me. And I'm pretty sure they thought I was just messing around during testing, which is it's not accurate, but it's like very accurate for them to think that because like I was a very troubled kid. So we had a conversation about that, and he called my mom. My mom came in from work. She knew I was having this problem, but she didn't know it was this severe. And we found out that I couldn't go back to school until I got tested or analyzed. And yeah, so I went back home after that. I chilled out, and I texted my girlfriend to tell her that I wasn't coming to school. And so obviously I didn't go back to school on Friday. I went to work with my mom that Friday. And that's where I made a video. It was like Rip Sharky and Rip X, because I still didn't like myself at all at that point. And it had almost been a year since my favorite rapper, obviously XXXTentacion, had died. And it was very late. Or it wasn't like late in time, it was like late to make that video, but I didn't really feel right. And so one of my friends saw the video, and he messaged me on Discord asking what was wrong with me. And this is very, very cruel. I'm never going to do this again. I never did it after that. But I acted as if I was a police investigator. And I was asking him for information on where I went because I was pretending like I had ran away or killed myself, which is so horrible. And then he started freaking out in Discord. He was like telling me stuff, and then apparently he talked to his mom and told her what was happening. And his mom had my mom's phone number from a birthday party that I had earlier that year. So his mom called my mom and explained to her what was going on. And then we had just got done eating after she got done with work, and I went with my grandma to go back to her house for Easter weekend. And yeah. My grandma got a call from my mom explaining to her what happened. She told her that she had to take my phone away and read through everything. And then when my dad got there for Easter weekend, he read through my phone and apologized to my friend. And I was crying. Like, I was crying when I got to my dad's. I tried to not exaggerate it either. I went downstairs when my grandma was on the phone, and I grabbed a knife out of the cabinet or drawer, and I hid it in my pocket. Or not in my pocket, I hid it in my sleeve, like I put it in this. And she saw me just at the end of it, and she asked what I was doing. And I told her, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm done. And she started crying with me, and we just hugged for a long time. It was very, very hard. But after that, I put the knife back and went back upstairs, and so he kept crying. And yeah, Easter Sunday, my mom picked me up, and she took me to a mental type hospital. I don't even like calling it that because it just sounds bad. But yeah, that's what happened. It was a behavioral and health center. And we went there. She had to ask me questions to determine whether or not I stayed there or not. And the first question that she asked me was, because I was already mad that I had to go there. The first question she asked me was, are you going to hurt yourself if we go home? And by the looks of it, obviously, I said yes. So that was the question that really determined whether or not I was going to stay there or not. So this lady took us back to a conference room when we got there. And yeah, she told my parents, my stepdad, my mom, and I that I was going to be there for at least 6 to 10 days. And that's when I broke down crying. I was hugging my mom, and she was crying too. And I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about it, and it's making me feel horrible. Anyways, it was so bad. I asked her if I could go home. I asked the lady that took us into the conference room if I could go home that night. And she said no. She talked to my parents a little bit more about what they do and what happens. And it's a really great thing for them to be doing that. They don't have to. But they provided education for kids, and they provided ways to cope with what is going on in their heads. And it really helped. I was only there for like 5 days, which is obviously not the average. It was 6 to 10 was the average, and I was really thankful. I got out by Thursday, and I had a really good teacher. I met a lot of people, and I was on a depressive called Celexa for a long time, for about 3 months, until I decided to stop taking it. And that's besides the point. But again, I met a lot of people in there, and we weren't allowed to give out any personal information or anything, like phone numbers and stuff. But there were a couple kids in there that like I really became close with. And I ended up giving them my phone number anyways, but I never got contacted or anything, which I'm really sad about. Yeah. But I was in the hospital for a really long time, or not a really long time, but there was a girl that was in my group that ended up having to stay for 6 months because of how bad her depression was. And if anyone watching this video is going through depression or have any, like, look up depression and see if you have any effects that relate to it. Please talk to someone, because what I went through was horrible. And my close friends would know what I was going through. And I don't want anyone to go through something like that. I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to realize that they're lucky to even be here. I want you to realize that your family loves you and will help you in any way that you need it. Please second think everything before you do something. If you're contemplating life, if you want to commit self-harm or commit suicide, don't. Because it affects your family and your friends. And I learned that the hard way. Because when I got out of the hospital, everyone was crying. Everyone was happy. But I'm here today. I'm a lot better. I have a better relationship with my family and friends. I'm just a lot happier overall. And during this whole pandemic time, I've realized how lucky I am, and my whole journey is just insane. But yeah, if you're going through that stuff, I don't want you to. Please talk to someone. I know a lot of people encourage people that are experiencing mental illness to talk to people in general, but me more than ever being a victim of it, please talk to someone. My name is Braxton. This is my journey through the past year. That was the explanation of what happened last year. But I hope you and your families are staying safe through these times. I love you all. I'll see you guys in the next video. Again, it's been a little over a year since this happened. I'm fine now. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.